Hello guys, I'm back and my next guest is my Aunt Jacquelyn. She is episode 9 and she works at a hair salon, and so I learned a bunch about her, and this is Poff the Record. Let's get it. Hello guys, I am back and my next guest is Jacquelyn, and welcome to the podcast. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, for starters, I'm your aunt. Mm-hmm. Your brother's oldest sister.
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
You do...
Oh, about myself, like what do I do for a living?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a cosmetologist, so I cut hair. I've cut hair for 23 years, which is a long time, and I love it. I have 3 of your cousins, Barrett, Wyatt, and Landry, and I'm super excited about being here today with you.
Have you always lived in Kentucky?
Born and raised.
Where is the coolest place you've ever been?
Ooh, that's tough. So I'm going to say the coolest place I've ever been, because I had never seen anything like it.
Mm-hmm.
Where it took my breath away was actually Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
I had never felt so small and such a sky so big.
What was your favorite thing doing there?
Hiking. Actually, it wasn't. It was your Uncle Joey and I and his mom and dad. We went kayaking on Jenny Lake, and it was the prettiest water I'd ever seen. And then it was surrounded by like the Teton Mountains. Mm-hmm. And we kayaked, and I never wanted that day to end. It was probably one of my most favorite trip memories.
What was your favorite thing to do as a kid?
My favorite thing to do as a kid, well, your dad and I rode 4-wheelers and dirt bikes a lot, and that was probably one of my most favorite things to do. And then when we would go on trips, we would go lobstering and deep sea fishing. And deep sea fishing with your dad, that is probably my all-time favorite thing.
Push that back so it doesn't see. What was it like growing up with a brother and a sister?
Well, that's a 2-part question, because your brother and I were only 3 years apart. Mm-hmm. And your brother, my brother, and I were only 3 years apart. Mm-hmm. And then Aunt Jordan came along, but I was 13 and your brother was 10. So we had very different lives as kids. So we babied Aunt Jordan because she was like a little baby doll when she came along. And so I loved to dress her up and play with her. My brother and I, we got in trouble and we played, and we probably put a lot of gray hairs on Graham and Dad's heads. We didn't have neighbors, so it was just he and I. We figured out what to do, how to have fun. I convinced him when he was little to climb out on the rafters in our barn. Not smart at all. One time, he tied your dad down while he was sleeping and cracked an egg on his forehead. So we just did things we weren't supposed to do, but we had a lot of fun doing it.
What was your funniest moment you did with my dad?
Oh, that's tough. The funniest moment. Well, there's been a lot of funny moments. I don't know if there's one specific moment, but I will tell you that your dad has always made me laugh really, really hard. I would drive us home after school when he was a freshman and I was a junior, and he would make me laugh so hard because he would do impersonations of Graham, and I would just cry laughing because he was just funny. Like all of his impersonations. Your dad and I at every wedding have always danced. We would go to concerts together and dance. We did pretty much everything together when we were kids. And I don't know, I can't tell you one thing that was the funniest. I just know that I've always thought he was really funny.
What is the funniest moment you have? Oh, we kind of just did that.
That's okay.
Did my dad ever get you in trouble when you were kids?
Yes. So one time, I got really mad, and I was maybe your age, maybe a little bit older, and I said, "I'm out of here." And your dad and I had rooms right across from each other, and I opened the door, and I was like, "James, I'm running away from home," and he was like, "Okay," and I said, "Don't tell anyone," and he said, "Okay." And he was just sitting on the floor. And I remember him looking at me, and I was like, he's not going to tell anyone. So I went back in my room, and I pushed up the window, and I got out of the window, and then I took off running across the field. And do you know what your dad did?
He told?
Immediately he told on me. So then I don't know why I thought I was so stealth and secret, but I'd go running across the front of Graham and Dad's old house, and had 2 ponds, broad daylight. And then I think it was our cousin Nikki that was babysitting us during that, because we got in trouble and she sent us to our room. So I was just acting the baby, and I'm out of here. And so I went running across, and they watched me. And all I was going to do was run away to the neighbor's house, who was also Graham's best friend. So I'm pretty sure she would have turned me in also. But I had big plans, and he squashed them really quick.
What is something you admire about my dad?
I admire a lot about your dad. I would say that his strength and his love for his family. I know that I can call your dad at any time, and he will 100% be there for me. He loves you all and all of us wholeheartedly.
What was it like watching your brothers become a dad?
Why are you asking your Aunt Jacquelyn these emotional questions on air? That's the real question. It was beautiful, because when you were born, my dad, so your dad was still alive, and we saw 4 generations. So I saw your great-grandfather, my dad, my baby brother, and now his firstborn son. And it was incredible to watch your brother love something, you and your brothers, like he does. It's the best.
When did you meet my mom?
I met your mom before your dad met your mom. So your mom and I worked together at Z Salon and Spa, and I loved your mom. And I will tell you, your mom has wanted children since I've known your mom. Your mom started collecting baby books. Like, I think I bet you she was in high school. Maybe she was younger. I don't know. I just remember one day we were talking, and she's like, I've been collecting baby books for my kids since I don't know when. And I said, you don't even have a husband. She's like, I just want my babies. And here she is with 3 of them. So I loved your mom. I loved her energy. I loved, she was so giving. One time for my birthday, your mom, she made me an apron that I still have since a long time ago. And one time she found this dress that she thought that I would like, and she gave me that. Like, she was always like gifting and just trying to be kind and go above and beyond. And I had a fashion show, and I think that's when your dad met her, or maybe they like started flirting, and something, fireworks went off. I'm not sure, but I think it was around that time. And yeah, then they started falling in love.
You said you are a hairstylist. Is there anything you want to tell our viewers to promote your work?
to promote my work, I would love to see each and every one of you in my chair for a wholehearted experience, to get an amazing makeover, to look your best, to feel your best inside and out.
What made you want to be a hairstylist, and what do you love most about your job?
So, funny thing, my chosen profession was actually an art therapist. That's what I wanted to be. And Graham and Dad were like, no. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do? And so my best friend Lane was like, I'm going to hair school. And I thought, I guess I'll go to hair school too. And so I went. But then once I got into it, I realized that it is 100% a form of art. And I realized that the things that I enjoyed and the creativity I was able to do with people, and then that therapy side of it was more so building relationships. You get to know a lot of people when you spend time with them, right? Like you're spending time with me right now, asking me questions you've never asked. So every day I sit for 45 minutes and give them a space to feel their best. And sometimes they let things out that maybe they didn't know they were going to. And you create a safe space. And I love it. So I've not only been able to be creative, but then I've also been able to build a lot of wonderful relationships that I cherish.
Do you like doing hair or taking to people more?
Or talking to people more.
Oh.
I would say at this point in my life, it would be a 50-50. I love doing hair. I used to be in it just for the hair. I loved the creative side. But now I love the creative side, but I've also grown so much from experience of talking to people and learning about them and the things like when I had kids, and I'd say, oh my God, I'm so nervous about this, or I don't know about what, and they'd say, oh, you're fine, try this, or you and your husband should go visit this place. And so you're constantly learning and evolving differently. It's just a lot of good conversation.
What is the craziest haircut you've ever seen?
Ooh, I may have done it myself. Crazy good or crazy bad?
Any.
All right, well, I'll tell you a crazy bad. So there was a lady that came in one day and she was back getting color. And one of the girls walked up and they said, hey, can you come back and check this lady out? And I was like, yeah, what's going on? And she's like, I don't know. She trimmed her own bangs. Do you know what bangs are?
Wait.
Like they're like the hair that sits in the front, right? So we like to call them fringe, but it sits here.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, so she said, like Madison has bangs. Like those things that sit in the front of her face. You'll see it today. So she says, you got to come back and look at this. She did something. I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. I'll go back. So I walk back there, and here's this woman, nice looking woman. She's, looks like she's professional and adult, not someone that I would expect to ever cut their own hair. And she took scissors, and she just went in, and she cut, and she cut. So she cut it all the way to her scalp. Like, she was bald on the side. And she sits there and she said, I don't know what to do. And I said, I don't know what to do. And she's like, can you help me? And I said, I'm going to try. And so she sits down, and I felt like I was like Edward Scissorhands, and my hands are going, combs flying around, trying my hardest to get this stuff blended out. She starts off with the tears, and the next thing we start talking. So that's where the people part comes in and kind of making her feel comfortable. And I'm pretty sure at that point I thinned out all this enough that it made it blend. And then she became a guest of mine. So I made her feel like, the best version of what she could at that point. But she did a number on herself. Now, crazy cool cuts I've done. I've shaved people's, the side of their hair. I've had, shaved here, colored them all, the colors of every color you see behind us. I've bleached eyebrows to where they're gone for photo shoots. I don't know, some weird stuff. I've encompassed feathers. I've encompassed jewelry in hair. I've encompassed newspaper in hair. I've done all kinds of stuff for photo shoots.
Do people ever fall asleep while you are doing their hair?
Your dad does. Every time I cut his hair, this is what he does. And then he looks alive. And then he'll go, oh my God, I'm so tired. And then I just keep cutting.
If you could style any famous people hair, who would it be?
That's a good question. I'll tell you who I would like to take over doing their hair is Jennifer Aniston. And the reason why is because she has been this iconic figure for her hair, but really I just like to out the stylist that does it because I think she just has good hair. I don't think it's really much that this man's doing, but he's gotten a lot of credit for it over the years. Now, creative cut, I would love to do Sarah Jessica Parker's hair because I love her curls. She's got crazy curly hair, and I think that's beautiful.
How did you meet Uncle Joey?
I met Uncle Joey. Let's see. I met him a few times. But we actually met through his brother the time that we started dating. His brother, Jesse.
Was it a boy or a girl?
A boy.
What do you love most about him?
He loves selflessly. That's what I love the most.
Is there anything he does that drives you crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. Like little things like he will sometimes walk. I'm going to out him. He's going to watch this and be like, you did not just say that. So he will get sidetracked sometimes. So let's say he's walking from the bedroom to anywhere outside of the bedroom, and he may have like socks in his hands or a pair of shorts he's taken to the laundry room. And Landry or Barrett or Wyatt may be like, hey, Dad. And then the next thing you know, whatever's in his hand just drops. And so sometimes there'll be socks on the counter, socks on a kitchen chair, socks on the couch. And I'm like, bro, what, why, when, where, how do you keep doing this? And then he's like, my bad. And then we go on. And then sometimes if his coffee's too hot, he'll go before he takes the gulp. It's about as far as it goes.
What is something you...
Sorry, Joey.
What is something you and Joey have learned together?
Oh, my goodness. Well, we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot of life together. We've had a lot of life experience together. I would say we work really well. We've learned how to, we've torn apart houses. You've been to the houses that we've gutted, and at one point we didn't have a kitchen. We've learned to prioritize and set goals and achieve goals together. We've learned how to parent together, that our highest interest is our children and their safety. How do you create that safe space? How do you teach your children well, love them hard, all those things.
What would you say is the best and worst part of being a mom?
Oh, it's the same thing. The best and the worst part is how hard you love your children, because it's the best feeling in the whole entire world. I've never loved anything as much as I love my kids, ever. It was a feeling I couldn't even process. But then when bad things happen, then it hurts even more. It's like you get upset for them, Like, have you ever made a wrong decision? Did you get in trouble for it? Mm-hmm. Did you cry?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you know that I would bet that your mom and dad felt just as much heartache in here as you did? It doesn't seem that way, but that's what happens. You love your kids so much that you have to coach them and guide them and tell them right from wrong. And then when you look at them, because you love them so much, and then when they look back at you and their eyes start welling with tears and they feel so sad and you've hurt their feelings, it hurts right here too. So it's the same thing.
If your kids described you in 3 words, what would they say?
Oh, man. What do you think they would say? Crazy?
I don't really know.
I think that they would say, Wyatt would say dramatic. Maybe he's right. They would probably say maybe loud, pretty loud. And they would say that probably that I love them a lot.
What is the funniest thing your kids have ever done?
Well, probably, I don't even know if I can actually say it on air. Yeah, I probably can't say it. I'm gonna have to probably skip that question because I don't think I'd feel comfortable saying it. But it was Wyatt and Barrett, and it was wildly inappropriate, and it was so funny.
What makes your family special?
Oh. Like my whole family?
Mm-hmm.
Or my immediate family?
This whole.
I'm going to include you. Is that the family that we're talking about? Everybody?
Yeah.
Well, I think that my family, my whole family, is like no other family I've ever met. And anyone that's ever met our family would say that. We have a lot of love and a lot of passion and a lot of giving and a lot of time that's valued spent together. And we have each other's backs. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah.
You think that your cousins would ever let anything happen to you? If they're not doing it, they're not letting anybody else do it. But yeah, it's a safe place.
What is your favorite family tradition?
My favorite family tradition, I would say, I think that for years it was Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving was always my favorite. Mm-hmm. Because I think Thanksgiving was a true depiction of our family. I would bring my friends over. Uncle Joey brought his friends over for Thanksgiving. Anyone that didn't have a place to go and wanted to have like a good, meal together, they're thankful for one another. Mm-hmm. It didn't include presents and all the craziness. It was just, we're here. We're thankful for where we're at. We're thankful for, and most importantly, one another. And I always loved when your dad was alive. We would come in, this would be like us as kids, and then when you all were little, mm-hmm. we'd walk in at Thanksgiving dressed up because that was, it was expected. You dress nice for family functions. And he would go, "Man, you're looking sharp." Or he'd go, "Looking good." And then he would pinch your all's cheeks, and he would pinch our cheeks, and he would pat my face like this, and always just tell you how handsome or how pretty you looked. And I don't know, it's just nice, always being together.
When were you the most nervous in your life?
Oh, 2 times. So really, I feel like they're even. One was when I was auditioning to become an Aveda professional. So I traveled, and I will go into salons, and I would teach their employees how to cut hair. And then also I worked at my salon too. So I had my job at Z Salon and Spa, but then I also had a job with Aveda Corporate. So all those products that your mom loves so much, the shampoo. So that company that makes that's who I worked for, and I taught people how to cut hair. So I had to audition in front of a lot of people and a panel of judges, and they would evaluate you and assess you. Well, one day I was so nervous, and I'm not a person to really get that nervous. And I was standing outside, and I was going to audition again, and I looked into this window. I was in Washington, D.C., and I looked into this window, and some of the people that were evaluating me were sitting there. And I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, I got so nervous, I just went, bleh, and I puked. Right in front of the window, right in front of those people. And then I sat there, and I was like, that did not just happen. And then I just backed up, turned around, went back up to the room, changed my clothes, brushed my teeth, pray to God that they didn't see me. And I went down there and I auditioned and I landed it. And I got the job. So it was worth it. The other one was I was in New York City and I did a hair show. And I was chosen. There were 25 people in the United States that were chosen, and I was one of them. Mm-hmm. And I got to do hair on stage at the Waldorf Astoria, which is a historic hotel up there. And all these international magazine editors and just people from everywhere were there. And I walked out and I walked my model out and I went to the end of the runway and it was just like cameras everywhere flashing and all this creative talent. My knees could have given out at any moment. I was so nervous. So those were about the same.
What is something people may think about you that is not true?
That I'm mean, I would say, because I'm assertive, but I'm not mean. I would never intentionally hurt anyone.
What would you say? What would you say you are most proud of?
My family.
What is something you wish more people would do?
I think that being humble. Do you know what humble is?
Not really.
Do you know what you're not good at?
Not that I think of.
What's one thing that you don't feel like you're awesome at? Let's be honest.
I don't really know, honestly.
Are you good at writing?
Yeah.
Are you awesome at reading? So?
Yeah.
Do you have room to grow?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you talk about that and you say, I got a lot to learn with reading. I got a lot to grow with reading. Doesn't mean that you're a bad reader, does it?
No.
Just means we've got room to grow. And that's being humble. It's being okay with the things that you're not amazing at and allowing yourself an opportunity for growth.
What life advice would you give to my brothers and I?
Make sure your mom likes your wife. Listen to me. Make sure your mom likes your wife. That's what I tell my boys. You better make sure I like your wife because we're all going to be together. Fortunately, Graham loves your mom, so it worked out nice. And Uncle Joey's mom likes me, so it worked out nice.
Favorite... All right, this is a favorite speed round.
I love it. Do it.
Favorite animal.
Elephant.
Favorite thing to do in your free time.
Walk my pond. I want to do ceramics, but that's for a later day.
Favorite board game.
Oh, life. The game of life.
Favorite store, yeah.
Anthropology.
Favorite thing to do with your kids.
Ooh. I'd say probably hike or go to the creek. Something outside with them.
Favorite haircut trend.
The modern shag.
Favorite thing about your mom.
She loves wholeheartedly.
Favorite thing about your dad.
He loves wholeheartedly. They both are the two of the most giving people I've ever met.
Favorite way to relax.
Reading a book.
Favorite hair product.
Oh, probably. That's a tough one. Air control. There you go. Air control hairspray.
Favorite meal your mom cooks.
I love her salmon that she makes. Not your favorite of Graham's? What's your favorite?
I don't.
Ooh. Maybe her pasta?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
Favorite toy when you were a kid?
My dirt bike.
Favorite vacations?
Key West. Or Keys. Marathon Key.
Favorite color?
Green.
Favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Favorite smell?
Neroli.
Favorite movie?
Goonies.
Favorite flower?
Probably a dahlia.
Favorite singer or band?
That's
Singer.
hard. Favorite. All-time favorite? I'd probably say Chris Stapleton is the most, broad spectrum favorite. That and Paul Simon. Oh, tough. Totally opposite.
Favorite thing about being an aunt?
This moment right here. It's pretty amazing.
Favorite nephew?
Pass.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
This. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Before we go, do you have any questions for me?
What's your favorite part about doing this?
Learning more about people and kind of just, I don't got a good reason. I don't know.
Well, you know what's funny I think about this? I always thought that your dad would do something like this. So the fact that you're sitting here doing this is pretty awesome. And I love it.
Have you ever been to any of these places on the wall?
Yep. I have been. Well, I've been to New York.
So, have you seen the Statue of Liberty?
I have, but I didn't go visit it. I just saw it from a distance. I've been to Paris. I've not seen the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I've been to the Colosseum. Where are these other places? Do we know?
In the background, the buildings, I don't really know.
Well, I say I've been to a few. So you tell me where you want.
I mean, are those the two Twin Towers?
Oh, yeah, but I never went there. I never saw those. I didn't go to New York until after those came down, fortunately. But it looks like a lot of great places, and I want to see a bunch more. I hope to see whatever snow-covered mountains these are in the background. Pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. Now, please sign the wall.
Oh, right now?
Oh, there's a marker down there.
Oh.
Anywhere.
Anywhere?
It
Okay.
could be back over there,
Okay.
too.
This is exciting. I'm going to do it right on this belly.
Well, like I said, thank you for spending time with us. And, yeah, so that's...
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. We're done.
Here. So bye. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. And bye.